Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man.
Looking for something? Oh man, God damn.
He doesn't live in Martinez. A lorry stuck in the...
Right to work! Right to... Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by faith.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try.
All I'm wondering, man. Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out.
The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched...
Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule. Right, always glad to help out. We're on the same branch, you and I.
Hobocop. Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old L'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers?
The unpromising race pupil returns.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop, Shop.
He had nothing to do with it.
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's...
Fine. They have recent. Find out for yourself. And end. Everyone can see that.
Baby, don't be mean.
Anything for you, babe. Look, babe.
Individualism?
Impotent subject of pop culture. I take pity on you. You clearly want to end very well. You may enter the door one. The unpromising race pupil Return.
On second glance, the drawer opened, hundreds of documents and the same materials being handed over to. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and the drawer slide. The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread, because white antlers are one of the symbols of communism. They represent a society because Friesel was, to your disappointment, there aren't. After rifling the pages with the magazine is divided into several sections. International Comrade. As you know, this journal takes its name from but, like the structures of capitalist ideology, only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on, you flip back to the front. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel. Whoa. Bear wrestling. It seems to be part of a new public fitness, according to this extremely credulous account. Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known. Of course not. The article makes plain that this, according to the SRV's Ministry of Information, this is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy. What are you, a statistician? Did them all in? You flip back to the front of the. It takes a moment, but why they decided to title this one section? As you leaf through this section, you come across several. The main feature, though, the Tip Top Tournée, is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals. This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A. Made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to. You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season. Maybe, instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word. Where to even start? For one, so, all of it, basically. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these, you see? One cannot avoid the conclusion. You flip back to the front of the. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is you skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pine. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent. The writer G. Martin remarks dry. It's true. The rentiers have been. You flip back to the front of an intricate web of blue line. It still kind of looks like gone. For you to discover someone who knows about it. file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer slides out to greet you. Look how blurry all the hermeneutics was almost within your grasp. You're a police officer, not a spiritual healer. You can focus. You're trying hard, but the data here is unbelievably dry. Something about containers. The drawer. An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your neck. Your fingers run over the dial, calling, still call.
Video Reversal, 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeter film.
The voice of a youngster on the other end.
Video Reversal is a 24-hour video rental. We rent 8 and 10 millimeter film for home use. This is Lamy. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. No. Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? If you need any further assistance, you can visit us on the corner of...
The call is terminated. Looks like someone left his top. This is your... As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it... empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Well, they went through 6... Look at it. Of course it was you. You parted here. Move away from this. This is the night watchman. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Nothing incriminating catches your eye. It's a black and white photo of a young couple out. The chair is not as austere as the rest of the drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. Oh boy, where to start? Don't think about that. Quick, think about something else. Your nihilistic humor renders the list of... Maybe this was a... You take the painkillers. You stand and exit the booth. This is the night... control panel with several knobs. Marsh. On. With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. And the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. Moving this container, of course. For this purpose it was built. For this purpose it has acted. The crane does not return. Before you stands the container door appears unmoved by your attempt at flattery. The door does not respond to your no reply. The knock produces a hollow. You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked.
Container.
The lyrics to this, the accent is so thick.
Container. Evra. I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you? I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folk. Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister. Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in. We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Not everyone is down there, of course. But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everett sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so. Oh, I'm not really supposed to... Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into... No, I don't think they killed anyone. Let's better talk about...
He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in their right mind would tell him?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of contempt. Oh, you want Mr. Everett then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and guys like Mr. Everett and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Oh, Mr. Everett is where he always is. In his office, of course. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. So
everything is so pretty and red. You and Leo look like brothers as you glance around with similar childlike wonder.
Sure is, mister. Sure is. Really? Oh, yes. Born and raised in Irish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit. People say us Ubies are up to... Yes, yes. I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man, when actually Miss Beaufort is a real pretty lady with a but I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Oh, Lizzie, she is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her...
He respects that.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here nick. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be Dr. Lemaitre said so. And she knows about such things.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer? AKA...
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice...
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Bye-bye now.
Before you is a walrus of a man with great effort, with a mixture of expectation and
Welcome, Mr. Dubois. It's good of you to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare. I'd offer you my hand, but
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man. I, too, have convictions. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future...
You're no Titan affiliation, buddy. He's got you in a fork.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Yes, I know, Lawrence.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than... Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter.
His slug-like... The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. When he said, don't worry, he actually meant, be very worried.
Are you all right, Harry? It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You want to cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull at?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois!
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion?
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. Police officer questions.
My dear Harry, There are literally millions of containers. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least...
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, but I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're a police officer, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically... Oh, you're being too modest, my friend. But...
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the Archer.
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. Harry, I'm a very busy man, and a loud blabbering weasel. When we just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me. Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door... Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and... Honestly, I didn't want to bring it up, Harry. I heard you have become Measurehead's race pupil. Of course, Harry. Of course. You're not some kind of... No one's gonna know what you did with race there, Harry. Your race bonanza is safe with me. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Of course. Let us dispatch...
That's what the hanged corpse called.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion.
I assure you, there's nothing to be ashamed of, Harry. I have a big fat folder on you, Harry. I'm sure you had some concerns you thought I might be able to address. And you were probably...
It's just a brown folder. You can't make...
You must have questions.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the census...
He got the name from the Census Bureau and everything else from your behalf.
But I really got you good there for a moment, didn't I, Harry?
That means he doesn't pity. The mystery of you.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. Your gun will be found, Harry.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Damn it, Harry, that's exactly what it means. Wait, you need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white...
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble. Oh, hey, mister. Sure, mister.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not... The file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the drawer slides.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means.
It's but a rest area on the right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plane. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble work? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts.
He's not lying about not doing it.
No problem. I wish the best. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it. Like, what you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you... The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess. I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am.
He means he's not going to tell you because he doesn't know. But who he is and what they're fighting for?
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant. They're sort of like you. Preserve the... We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to...
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad.
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't, then how can anything ever be mine? But that's okay. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've made it. In my eyes, I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant... By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world. The old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. Okay, he's reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you... Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism...
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Sure. I've had the necessary free time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower, that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself. No. No. The man sits on the railing, his hand.
Right to work! Right!
Wow. I didn't know you worked anything else.
No, you don't work for the Union. That was easy. Worryingly so. The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk. You're 100% sure you got special hobo cop money for that tear. At least 100. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material.
So you tried to kill Kuno's girl? What's up with that? You want to talk about it? What? Bitch! You fucking making excuses? No one's moving anywhere. Kuno knows where you sleep. But you and Kuno are good for now. Pals?
The determination in his voice leaves little.
One word out of you.
You hear the Kuno?
You and Kuno are...
Let's go.
The kid doesn't even.
Yes, me.
Is she such a working class woman?
Looking for something to read. It is. I know you are. What with?
What with? A lot of things. For example, her hands move over.
My husband? No, he's not. I don't know. At home now? Yes, but... No. Why are we...
It's got to be something else then.
No, absolutely not. Are you a policeman or a nanny? They are not me.
You know where they are.
What? That's just... They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age. My youngest girl, Jolie, is just... Why do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're...
She gives you a short nod and shifts.
I don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being... I don't even...
It's a trap. Never ever say.
Even if I had? Great. Nothing.
Maybe you should.
Wonderful. The store is open.
The woman before.
Hello again, esteemed officer. A book about cockatoos? There should be...
Shelves filled to the brim. Shelves full of biographies of famous. This bookstore is not strict. A sulfur-crested cockatoo sit. Turns out that there are... You don't have behavioral problems.
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
You wait for the storekeeper. It's quite a challenge, but... A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest. This book talks about the delicate nature of twos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species. Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook. You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent. Ouch. That must hurt. Not great for them. Performing. Yes, this is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus fenn. Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, in the words of poet explorer, despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species. Common, yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you? You're right, Your Majesty embodied. As you turn, a bright light catches your eye. From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular. It's just what superstar. What are you? Deaf? They're perfect. Like rockstar? Yeah. A cool, trash superstar. Big dick cop down on his luck. Salam Rocky by here. Badass on the edge disco cop. Yeah, you know. Beneath it is just heartbreak. This is the beginning of your legend. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you, and you...
Hi, Ace Detective.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
What is going on there? I warn you, don't tempt the spirit.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door.
Excuse me? I don't know. Some of the what now? You truly are one strange...
The woman before you nods. Whoa. What a bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind.
Hey, up here, Piggo.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her...
Good afternoon, officer. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You must be from the RCM. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Beaton, my maiden name. I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly. Why, yes I am. Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get it? Yes, we are.
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas Alamer island groups are archipelagos.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up coupe.
She's referring to Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage.
No matter whose it is, a motor carriage...
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around. Before you do, it will be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info.
The boat? No, it's a pleasure craft. A 19-pacer. My sloop? I like it. Officer,
The crowns of her teeth are pulsing. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class? Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserve 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said...
Your synapses flesh.
Okay, it is anti-centennial. I assure you they drove quite a high... I am a bourgeois woman, and this is good. What we do.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to
The Pines' core competency is logistics. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy.
The Wild Pines group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Saint-Baptiste, LUM, an unknown entity.
Why, thank you. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell 20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. They started as an exploration and cargo. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's... You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners? Who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire...
With your help.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade.
The octopus that straddles Revachon, the Emergencies Act, is the cornerstone of post-war Revachon, inseparable from the world it created.
Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot.
But I am derailing us. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, they're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all...
Wait.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later. Let's say I was not making the kind... I arrived 3 weeks ago. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature. Yes. Keep in mind, This is a negotiator. Miss, there are leaflets everywhere, and banners. Every worker.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to... Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a... Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild... They're having a blast. But how can they afford... I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with... And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock?
Don't let her answer it herself.
If these strikebreakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliate...
It's implied. She's open...
Everard Clare is a man of the... Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, have you seen him? Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term is full, it's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say? Thank you for being candid. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union, yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said...
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give an downright haunting. If you're... The point of the presentation is... These... Of course. How else can I help? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Of course. He must have his practical use. He could have kept it with corruption. Of course. I don't expect... How could I stop you? Are we not human?
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what...
Oh. So very, very helpful. And how is that go? Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Of course, Detective. Until then, is there any... Quite a few... The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your name and badge number. I just can't go around telling... What happened to it, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear. I do believe you, naive as that may. However, this isn't about my feelings.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need...
You're in.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade.
They're profiting from...
The company has tried looking into this matter before. Or, you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause. It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Yes. After they clear the terminal, yes, but you won't get any...
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Unlikely, officer.
How convenient that...
Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam.
Her irises are like...
I'll be explicit.
Uncovering Union secrets could also give you an upper hand when dealing with them.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently there's some sort of... well... Here's your No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company... This is a limited time opportunity. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock work. It's true they drove a number of the local businesses to bankruptcy preparing for this venture. I've talked to a few business owners. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely. Then loaded onto lorries and driven to The two might even be connected. Yes? Excellent. According to my report, it may come to nothing, or it... In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. That's the man who was killed. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. That's the man who was killed. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. This...
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
How truly curious. A sort of philosopher-detective. A deep synthesis.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds in... Yes. We're on an island in a...
Known to the early Revacholians as vast, lukewarm.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here... This place used to be a province. A workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the Caillou, as you already know. Imagine a Revachol. Revachol is what you call the Great...
As if it's self-explanatory. Beyond patriotism.
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. The nations of the Occident, or migrant in the DeLorean century. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean, we are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is. I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about...
A collection of tall ghosts behind...
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the...
Silence. The water. There is no recognition. Only the immensity of the sea. She observes your eyes scanning the horizon. This is one thought.
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember these are unimportant times, detective. For the big time, the revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next. Who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral. Why, of course. We're talking No. I would say the apes were neutral. On the other hand, maybe you're right. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So...
She likes the totality of it.
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Don't worry. Klas Mazov shot 15 million people. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse. Or the real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kings, the liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, they didn't win so much as survive.
We. She's one of them.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vespe. The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people, at least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they...
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about the turn of the century revolution. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though it wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government. It made people overthrow their governments. Indeed, Zarat is a highly infectious microorganism.
It was a funny time in history. They discovered transistors at...
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to quarter up by. You...
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because...
No doubt. But we share the same time. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interreg... The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-Islary communication.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platform. The 30s, things settled down in the...
All that untaxed income must have fueled the new. That can only...
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. Welcome to reality.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Failed. Good question. What would you have done differently?
A cold creeps up your...
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with the technology 50 years ago?
The wind stops. A dog barks. A gunshot...
It's all yours.
A poor remedy for prion disease. That was Capri, resplendent. Good question. And I asked you, past less detective of the citizens.
The cold runs...
I see. A tenth of humanity. The key of history is in the lock. Keep turning at any cost.
The wind stops. A dog barks.
The age of man.
Over. That's entropolism, the very height of late modernity. A vacuum? Good question.
A cold.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their mind.
The wind, a dog.
Good hygiene. Really. When they failed to step, they are what they are. Anyway.
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
A bird? Some sort of krill hunter? Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah. Or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. This one used to be mostly the urban middle class.
Splat, splat.
You could be wrong, but from here it appears as if she's running the brush across her throat.
Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a sullen and rebellious... Yes, you and I belong to the supraculture. We're common. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat all they want. All right. What next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
And what would that be?
She lets out an
Nothing. It's just, true, that's all. The uniforms, the language. I am the vilest of the vile. I am an
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking.
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind. Haven't you heard? I am a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. We surrendered the nation to financier pirates. No sane person identifies as ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. I can see we're not so different, you know. Tell me, now that I've a fitting punishment, to be forgotten, if not when the dust settled, the liberals were the only, with due respect to our overlords, the eternal...
While a gentle wind...
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here.
She realizes her...
Then for my daughters, we had an
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes.
Yes, I suppose I am. Perhaps.
You're no dummy yourself.
A smart boy getting smarter. Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother. And a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? More lessons in basic reality? Glad to have been... Of course, Detective.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about its time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place. It is a moment in history's greatest. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is tisk-tisk. Just because you may never live to see the Kingdom of Conscience. What rationality? What sang-froid? The kingdom, partly because humanity will need to... It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual. What you want is immaterial. The bow collector. It's early in the morning. The world is dark.
You're back. Good. More lessons in basic reality?
6 kilometers southwest. To his left, his partner. Yes, he lost his mind. Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. We always do.
You? You're an officer of the Preciso nothing more nor less than the de facto. Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, there's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, the post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. So permit me to conclude with this. Who you are to me is the police. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, nothing more nor... Yes. Permit me to conclude. And if those authorities... Glad to have been of assistance.
The girl is it. This is a wall on the side of an apartment. A sturdy metal door. The door rattles. The door rattles.
Stop banging on the door! The police? No. I'll go check the back.
Backyard door. The door.
Stop banging on... Doesn't matter.
From within.
No. Go check...
Backyard door. This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The leather upholstery. In fact, it's odd. You knock silently. You try to be Finally, the door unlocks. There's nothing else to do than to... There might be important as you hold the open door. A row of mugs sits on a little ring. There's something disdainful. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity. But underneath, he's just making fun of the... Of course, you slippery bum. Yes, you're broken. The owner of this, an interesting little clue. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often. Who knows? You could ask Everard. You see a young man on a balcony, nursing.
Not looking for any trouble, officer. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay.
Don't let him go. This could be your...
Is it really that...
Like a nervous...
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. Oh. You're...
Wait. Is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you. Some more muscular type. I couldn't tell you. Last week? I don't know. Look.
He's an actor, declaiming. He's deflecting. He's young.
It was my Sunday friend.
He doesn't reply. Just...
My name?
That's definitely not...
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice? I can tell that... Oh.
Wait.
No, not you. Last week?
He's an act... He's deflect...
It was my son...
He doesn't reply.
No. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Time to bring out your secret charm. Tears and begging. Show him your emotional side. Throw yourself before his very feet like a dog.
No, for God's sake, I don't want... Listen, I really have to go. Good luck with the investigation.
A stone, like any other. There's a key beneath it. Looks like it could belong to the building. That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an The star and antlers was developed in the even today, half a cent to symbolize also some social, because white is the color, smug superiority, aesthetic musings, the triumph of capital. This door has been closed. It's a solid lump of... Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle... A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburn. Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a theoretical historian. He was a leading figure in the Grad side of the turn-of-the-century revolution, where the bust doesn't reply. The whole a poor communard, from the looks of it. You hear someone walking up. The walking stop. You can feel tension. A poor communard.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
It's generally easier to do things if you have.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my I'm fine. Now, what?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan.
Yes, yes. I know who.
Somewhere in the build.
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so...
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the back. I'm no one. If you can call it living. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed.
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind. She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences...
Ask away, policeman. People come and go.
They probably just moved. Or died.
No one lives there. Impossible. I would know it. Maybe it's those countercultural people. Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawing. The symbol of what now? Never heard of it. Oh, I think he's something to do with... That's what I said. Astrology.
She mumbles, some kind. You hear someone.
Excuse me?
You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
Well, Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden. Nothing. You're right. Yes, that's what it is. A quick peek here.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with...
Boy, there are...
Do you want to see my ID as well? Very well, but please make it quick. I need to be back in La Delta in an hour. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came... A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off.
The sum must have been puny.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have... I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and create. Well, it does not disappear. Don't ask me what. Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as it was some kind of a moribund old...
A sudden serious look crosses her face.
But that was months ago. And of course...
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Oh, I do like wizards. And people.
She means clairvoyance. A shift in temperature. The air chills around. A former architect stands before a slice of window. A room plan in her hand is red from the cold. Faint pencil lines. It's clean and empty. She had an eye for beauty. Ruination has come. The broken arch, a great force from the north, the tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling, until it was destroyed. Those arches, only 3 stories underwater, iron helmets have sunk deep into the sand. A fleet, the combined army, they massed airships. Many are still there too. Coalition warship, the waves of what didn't fall into.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested. And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you, pig.
A brush, an artist. That smell coming from her red-dyed heavy fuel oil is only used in government vehicles. Or at least that's the idea.
I ain't no snitch. Can't you tell? I'm painting a I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at grip? We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona. This place is severe. I thought I'd mix it up, yeah? Thanks. I'm sure...
She means the opposite. The lieutenant is desperately searching for another. Hatred, disgust. The woman on the boat does not notice her...
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on a first-name basis with her, are we? Have you got a crush on her? Aching... What did you think I was using? Aquarels? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank. Something to think about next time you're driving around in your... Watch your back.
The pockets of these new jeans. Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. By the way, the raw materials. This door is made of metal and appears to be number 28. This door is number 28. No one answers. Looks like he isn't home. You should come back tomorrow evening. After 20. No one answers. Looks like he is. There it is again. The scent of apricots with a touch of cinnamon. Bitter. Whatever petrochemical. Until a blossom of skin and flower feels so familiar. Yes, from the sun set, there is a movement next to you. Why are you talking to a gum wrapper? Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here, because this is no all the other walls on. Oh, wall father. Absolute. Cindy the Skull has. Yes, great thing.
Hello again, officers. Ooh.
She does have eyes that.
Yes. I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me. Does anyone in a city like it doesn't have to do anything at all?
The inspiration will come to her once hell.
Shoot, Piggy. What for? Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. Yeah. Not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look like you'd suck. Everything, really.
behind you, the spring thaw looking up at the sky. Cold water dripping from grey sky. Your shirt sticks to your You're not dressed for this weather. You should get sheets of red. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an. Your hair is an oily. There's a free. The great gates of the. Behind the gates. La Ducie, Couron. A silvery. You have never been. Capeside. Hallways for a yard. Capeside. Hallways for evening. A yard. A traffic jam. The road ascent. Revershot. It's home.
I have a brother in the cut.
To be in Martinez, where no one goes. At the rock, standing in the rain. In the rain sweat, your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. Coalition era static. These spring thaw will not last. The winter will return to Revachol.
I've got nothing to say to you. I am not.
You could be Liz.
Even Ahmad?
He's right. With a face like that, she could be
so fucking...
No.
This didn't change. It's not her.
I suggest not wasting time on trivial...
Even though she has excellent control over herself. Something...
You are not here to chat up the legal counsel.
Even though she has...
No.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again. Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone.
Oh, I'd be delighted. That would be the giant of Kokonur. The giant lives in the most arid mirage or no one knows. The towering lumen. That's what there are.
Great. Gravity anomaly.
Cryobacter. Yes, the bacteria. Michanu disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back. Yes, the bacteria had survived in the... Yes, and she's quite mad, too. We can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for decades now. The gnome of Jeroma. Oh, yes. None of its victims... It was, reportedly, a couple of It still took the gnome of Jeroma an entire day. Alas, no. And instead... all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth.
Alas. Always. Alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient? Sure. A perfectly good explanation. It dissolved in its own venom. Go.
What an interesting question. The Col de Mama d'Aqua, or thin...
Col de Mama d'Aqua can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
It could be. As I said, it could be yes. Although the low part is... Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle.
that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory. Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 20s, a group of Areopagi ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sound. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict.
She transforms.
They realized that they had... They grew quite obsessed with these little... Sequester, time, Joss Camp. That is a... They tried to communicate...
This lady really... Psst. They cancel...
Exactly. And after that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated... What about what? Of course, dear. Of course, dear. Of course, dear.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real. You're already set for the night. Your door... Another thing. Great. Yes, and the phone's not strange. Who told you that? Fine, yeah. If you do find out who cut the... Oh, yes, that door. No, I don't have... Or some boring...
He's attempting to maintain...
Fine, okay. So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100... Yes?
The man ponders his cooking. He looks up, shrugging, isn't it? You see, you immediately feel drawn. The door does not. The Colbo old coat, it leads to a side building. The door, the window stands. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's barely... A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. It's like something snaps in you. A nerve ending. A thought. A sadness. Your face in the mirror is suddenly clean of the layer that had distorted it for God knows how long. Just like that, it's over. The running... A mirror hangs on the... The fan is spinning. The blades come squeak. The lights are on. The fan stands... You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, The living Who knows what you are? A How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire good. And when you're plus, smoke it. Was that? Could it be? There seems to be. Lena also said, honestly, your ear isn't hearing a whole... There it is again. It must be very... Keep still. It might perch on your Oh no, no. Too late. Keep your ears peeled then. That pawnbroker...
Stuck in the rain in a Nope. Some of the other drivers do.
Yup.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Ah, man. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious
Entrapment is a...
Then what you do here?
So much for subtle.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Look, man, I try to...
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. Everything's still cool. You keep coming back.
You find the box.
Economical.
The speakers below are banged up and worthless.
Hello. Akoldima Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were That's fair. This was before. You're cool or not. We thought we did. We got together all... Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. This recording comes from down the... Keep in mind, I have to...
As the hum grows louder, modulating, but always unnatural. Not good. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound... He nods to you, reassuringly. Seabirds, most likely.
And skewers.
That's it. A low range of sounds.
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not... Sure, let me have a look. Oh, no. A photic pup.
You have absolutely no idea.
I'm not purchasing any more. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time.
A typical Martinez street life. The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and you're... You see Rose try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to... Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine.
Looking for something? No.
He's got a smoke right there, in his
Can't have it. That's too bad. It's all done for. What, officer? Sorry I couldn't be of any help. Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Mirinza. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage. I don't go for that foreign pit. Not in, not out. I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been...
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics since he left.
If they were getting drunk inside the whirling...
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's a kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not right. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. That beady-eyed South Samaran. That's the one. He's tried by natural liar. Is your man alright? 100%. He's a lorry man. Guess so. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He's tried by nat. Guess so.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottle's clunk. Do you know what you should do with that? A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste pharmaceutical.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here. I hope...
A colourful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Huh? Speed.
What's the point if they don't even sell the good drugs? You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big fritta.
A warehouse.
She looks...
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here. Okay?
Everything still drugs? I don't... Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which, that's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs.
Sir, it appears to be true.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But,
A blatant lie, sire. Yet,
who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. No, I just said I work hard.
realizing he can't get out of it,
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. Exactly. It's such a small... Nothing. I told crowd, you know.
no, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was the...
Shush, please. There's bad people.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off...
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her.
It could be. He's not ruling her.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. All right.
The woman before you. This door is no one. Looks like he isn't home. There it is again. The scent of... Yes, from... The face of King... Well, her light reflect. Wow, the gods of There's a satisfying pop as the core. Nothing. A golden sun melts down your throat. Its rays filling your nostrils with sunshine. Your stomach melts from it into a happy, gooey...
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's an alcohol button. Alcohol gives +1 to physique skills. Physical instrument, half light,
From the void we came, and to the void we... This door is made of metal and a pit. This door is made of metal. No one. Looks like he isn't home. woman still.
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam. Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution. Decided until you came along that this is Gabriel Buenguerra.
A strikingly handsome man looks...
He was the biggest star of his day.
In all likelihood, it's a world that's only ever existed.
Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, while you, people, were tearing each other apart over your pet...
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petro-state.
Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to...
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine? I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What?
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled.
Of course not. To truly understand the
Boyadero.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring boyadero. Don't be stupid. The boyadero returns from...
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the scream...
So the boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the magret. You have to understand. A true boyadero needs a...
What if to truly love a boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
Did you just call me a lady?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady.
I'm not that either, Harife. I've gone too far from it all. I'm only terrifying to small...
Yeah, it's not her. Believe me.
Because they can no longer recognize the person. The big ones, the trucks. There's no women, and in the middle of this town, there's a...
You feel very cold suddenly. In the background, a quiet song.
How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other communers sniffing around? Oh, Sim. What do you mean? Yes? What about it? Oh, don't worry about me. Lomonosov's land, Udashnaya Zemlya, West...
A terrible cold comes...
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. You're right, Loman.
A correct appraisal.
Is that all you woke me up to say? Now what do you want with an old woman? I'm starting to think you should let me get back to Gabriel.
She's wearing...
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation.
Moreover, the boots were sized. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro, which happened.
It was. And then it was not. Perhaps it was another Herife who came and waked...
As she says, Carnival.
The feet of a little girl. They fit well on the pedals. What do I need drugs for, Loman? What I say? If you don't know...
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Who the fuck is Iraq? Ah, and what do I care about the union boss? Maybe. Probably not. Makes me... Just this month I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grat. And the U for 1A. What? No, Loman. Diamonds. Easy. Is the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. No.
That's correct.
Diamonds are good for you, Loman. Where do you want me to go? This isn't... Or I can just relax and let my mind carry... Yes, go.
Still here, stuck in this... I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. Now, I didn't, man.
It's true. We would have... emotional.
Thank God I don't know. People here, a friend, an acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam. A youngish woman. Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here.
Then she may have dyed it again.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation. She's got the darkness in her. Yes, which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me too. Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? The way it worked.
The pain it was causing her.
Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay?
He's right. There are... Wait, this guy says they're friends. Then, now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
I thought you were a different kind of cop. Here.
The keys to a motor lorry.
Her lorry's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know. I bet you are. She left them to me.
The other drivers would have to break in there to get...
No. I don't know. Last Friday. Nah. I need to think my own...
This screen found. This is the one the man put. The glass on the side windows. The door is... There's no... You push the key. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. These are movie. One of them particularly catches your eye. There's definitely perfume in the air. The remnants of a sweet June. The actress is draped. Wait, doesn't she resemble... This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography. She wasted away in a drug den called The Door. The actresses and the rear. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the peculiar frequency tap, it has to be an advanced model to fit so many doesn't look like it. Unclear. For contacting an entire fleet of lorries, for example. This must be the nerve center of not without the dial key. The ghostly actresses. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel. But one odd detail, sandpaper adds extra, matching one of the footprints found from the crime scene, which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Looks like it, yes. You've identified the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys had anything to do with the drug trade? You should probably still talk to them, see what they've got to say for them. The movie stars are... A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of... It looks like an article. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe the pull-out tool will slightly close the rust.
Right to what?
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. The drawer slides. before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already... I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question.
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
Just as I thought. Culturally and...
He was testing.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines, a security contractor. Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of...
He performs a motion.
I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Sadamoritz. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. No, Harry, the elephant is metaphorical and... Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my... Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, one of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Harry, what you need to realize is, we got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people. There's a militant wing inside the union.
That sounds a bit...
They're like you. Idealistic people who want to make...
Again, that sound...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, he probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like, oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
How do I know? Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E. These guys turn up and start beating people. You said it, Harry. Hell.
That does sound quite unlikely, yes.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organ... Oh, no.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety, but he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting... Oh, you're too kind, Harry. Way too kind. I know I'm not a real police officer. Oh, they are simply fine. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and they... Harry, they're almost all of them great guys. Bornly work with them. Hell, interview them. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out. Good boy. A real team player. Now, was it a good tour? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of...
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches. Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinet. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it.
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at...
They are just going to have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown?
Am I? Harry, these people... Martinez is the most important... We're going to build a youth centre there. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the... Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist. Oh, that's very nice. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find... It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her... What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his... Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call... Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're vanished. Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make... Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little...
This particular brand of humor he has, it...
Yes, yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and...
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss. Of course, Harry. Let me just assure... I have no interest in what she is doing. But I myself have not... Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
You've got a lot of spirit clearing up the drug problem and...
Actually, he refuses to discuss it further. It's probably just a small nuisance to him.
Most certainly, Harry. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? See you soon.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construct. The youth center cuts into the ocean like the back. It's going to be awfully close to the... This is either an My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite. There is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their... Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months. A year maybe. For even the most stubborn Well, you could trick Everard. Get some random people to sign the document. By the time the union...
Hey, mister.
You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened. You're back before the cargo container. Its draw has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown. file cabinet stands steady as ever, and the unlocked drawer, the drawer slides.
Promising.
A lorry stuck.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. That's a mighty interesting theory.
Yeah, man. Theoretically,
you would need good, trustworthy people to take their...
Yes, but that just sends everyone else to Jamrock, doesn't it?
No, there aren't. Some little shit.
Whatever you've seen is peanuts.
Theoretically, of course. My answer is...
And here we go.
I know! Fatty walked on over. Go fuck your mom.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all fours.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mom.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Let me state this very clearly, Capo.
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
It's you again. What is it?
What a funny little cat. Don't let the scary... It's not gonna give you radio. The container is warm to the touch. You suck a manly dose of the extremely chemical. It tastes like many things, all melted into one conflagrant. Not really. It's just a... Why not? Please don't actually operate any fire machines. Already you can...
In the bottom right corner of the screen, there's a Peroli dot.
It's you again. What is it?
Establish authority. Yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind.
And what exactly is it you've been doing this so all the while talking racist shit? Don't think we are...
Fascia. That's short for fascist.
Of course you have. You've been calling people kids left.
Holly said they've been trying to set up a race rally, whatever the fuck that means. Trying to get the kips out of Revachol before the economy goes to shit, boss.
Of course he's racist.
Get the fuck out of here.
You got shredded to pieces there. Should have gone with the gun. What were you thinking?
I've got nothing to say to you.
You see, a heavy steel...
Can I help you? Another thing. Yes. Do I have a
It's not a
Am I...
Because he's not.
Because I'm not a...
Play it calm.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing marinella. Do you want that out of a glass? Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to... Another thing. Yes. Do I have...
It's not a shame.
Am I wearing a little bow? Am I...
Because...
Because...
Play it calm.
Oh, well, in that case, let me pour you a nice, big, refreshing... Don't be an imbecile. I'm not going to... Can I help you? Do I have...
It's not a shaker.
Am I wearing a little... Am I...
Because...
Because...
Play it calm.
Oh, well, in that case, don't be an imbecile. I'm...
A crumpled billboard. The sign billboard has fallen on the waterlock. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt road, these look like the same tire tracks I saw. Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle... The black marks on the roof... The panel served as the vehicle soared through. The sign, the Samaran, but within the past. Still speeding, the vehicle... There are two good candidates, the Caprice 40 and the Linear G22. It's about the Caprice 40 is a very the Linear. You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The crumpled Samurai. The crumpled Samaran butter billboard still soaks in the A rusting control panel. This panel usually closes the water. The trash container stands in the spring. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. There's nothing. The container sounds a muffled gong. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Can I help you?
The door is still. The fan stands still. A mirror hangs on the bar. The bed is still cold from the break. The bed is.
Here we are again, my broken bud. You're not cool. It's your disgusting body.
That pain in your right side is your. But this suffering, it must have some kind of meaning. A story that will come out of it. Perhaps even a story that you will write yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be
You're just stuck here. In the half-world.
Oh, baby.
Maybe if you know, like, took a lot of drug. Maybe if you cracked the...
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to...
Let it.
But it never seems to let...
A mirror hangs on the bar. Yes?
Oh, hello, dear. There you...
You see a heavy steel...
I've
got nothing to say to you.
It's you again. What is it?
There. Work cracked it. All in a good day's work. What do you mean, what did I crack? Look at how working class that drunk. Yes. And didn't she repeatedly tell you there's no need?
I have really
Yes.
René. Hello, officer. How might I be of assist? I'm sorry, officer.
The only one you have.
The sandwich looks like in addition to the obvious slice of ham.
Believe me, officer.
You can barely hear him. The sweet smell of pig.
Fuck off! Sorry, officer.
When the dissidents come to rape our country, he hides. But try to get...
Let me think. No,
Then help them.
He means...
I wish I...
Odd. He doesn't...
I'm not...
Of course he's...
Can I at least... Everyone in Martinez knows the...
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it.
The old soldier. There he...
Let's try not to get caught in a...
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary... Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a...
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He doesn't know anything.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of any... I hate this socialist rabble. But even siding with them is...
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he... Oh, nothing official, I assure you.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda.
That's just the way things... I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Officer, I have...
He just fluffs it up.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink...
I believe everyone...
Mon Dieu.
I don't even... I prefer...
Mon...
No, thank you. Sure, officer. No, thank...
Officer! God, yes. The Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. Not that I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and... money is tight. Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last month. No one...
No one has been guarding the container.
Yes!
Look, officer. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, René. Monsieur Claire...
The possibility of someone...
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? Yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway.